Hey y'all, I am cooking supper and I have got some meatballs in the oven and I'm making two side dishes that are my husband's favorite, one of them, and one is my favorite. And so easy and simple that I've shared this one before, but it's gonna blow your mind. And the recipe, when I share it's gonna be for a big pan, but I'm doing half in the small modular pans because I'm gonna do them in the air fryer. So I've just got a can of sliced potatoes and I took the can strainer after I opened it and just strained the liquid out. So see how easy this is gonna be? I'm not even using fresh potatoes, but y'all know I do sometimes, so don't come at me for not using fresh potatoes. This is easy side dishes tonight. So I'm just gonna kind of spread them around a little bit in the pan. And the next step is going to be to add some melted butter. So I've got about 2 tablespoons of butter. Oop, I melted it in my, I happened to see that, I'm glad I did. I melted it in the plastic wrap, and you've probably seen me do that before too, so it don't splatter all over the microwave, and I didn't get it all out. So I'm going to pour this butter over the potatoes. My husband could eat this cheesy potatoes with every meal. He loves these, even though they're canned potatoes. So the only other thing I do is add just a little bit of salt and pepper. I don't add a whole lot of salt because those canned potatoes have some sodium already in them. Now I always have some bacon fried and crumbled in the refrigerator, so I'm going to top them. Well, before I do that, he likes a little paprika on his, and I forgot to get that. Okay, so I'm gonna add just a little bit of paprika on top of his potatoes. Now I'll add the bacon. So I'm just putting the bacon crumbles right on top. He's a meat and potato man, so I'm gonna put a lot of bacon on his. My grandchildren love bacon, so I always seem to have some bacon fried up, some crumbled and some in whole slices. And if you don't, you can use those store-bought packs of real bacon bits that you can find at the grocery store. I'm making a mess, y'all. The last step, and normally I would just take my flexible cutting mat and pour it right over top, but I've got some Parmesan cheese that's going to go on my favorite side dish tonight. So I'm just going to layer this cheese without dumping it this time over his potatoes. And y'all, no matter who you serve these to, I really don't think that they could tell you didn't peel those potatoes and cook them from fresh potatoes, because they are just delicious. Okay, so that is easy side dish number 1. Doesn't that look great? I'm gonna cook this in the air fryer along with my favorite side. And I've got that ready to go here. And I'm gonna do that in my other modular pan. You get 3 of these modular pans in a set. So I have got some carrots that I peeled, and then I sliced them so one side of the carrot would be flat, because I'll show you why I want them flat in just a minute. Now I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil, and I'm not even gonna measure this time because I'm just gonna eyeball it. But again, the recipe that I'm going to share with you is going to be for like a pound, a whole bag of carrots if you're doing a big batch. But I'm just doing a little version of that for me. Okay, so now I like to use the chili lime. Chili lime seasoning, oh, it's good on so many different things. So I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of that in. Okay. And y'all know I love my 3 onion. That goes on just about everything that I eat. So you can really season your carrots with whatever you prefer. But the recipe that I do and I'm going to share with you are going to call for these. This is our garlic. Just a little bit of garlic. And I'm going to put a little bit of paprika on mine just because he's getting it, I want it to. Okay, so that's it. And now I'm just going to take my tongs and kind of toss this together. And the Parmesan cheese that I have got shredded, I'm going to go ahead I'm using our zester. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit, because I don't know if I have enough for all these carrots. I got more in here than I thought I did. A little bit of Parmesan cheese, and I like it finely grated for these. So that's why I'm using the zester. This smells also good, and those meatballs in my oven are smelling very delicious. Okay, so now other than my oil and seasonings, I'm just going to toss that. These are so good, y'all. Delicious, delicious, delicious. If you like carrots. And I do, and my husband does too. And the meatballs, the recipe that I'm going to share for those are my chicken meatballs, and everybody loves those. It's a recipe I've made for a long, long time. And it will also have a creamy sauce in the recipe that I'm going to share with you. But I'm not making the sauce tonight. I'm just having the meatballs just plain instead of putting them in the sauce. Okay, trying to get this where y'all can see everything I'm doing. So I'm going to take one of these carrots, and I'm flat side down, and put them in that Parmesan that I have grated over here. And I won't stay on to do them all for you, but you get the idea. And in the recipe that I'm going to share with you, I'm going to ask you not to use parchment paper for easy cleanup. Although you're going to be tempted to, I know. But the parchment paper helps keep your pan from making a mess, but it also keeps that Parmesan cheese from crisping up very nice. Okay, I'll do one more, and then I'll stop. You'll see how the bottom of that looks. So I'm going to finish doing those, and then I may, if I think I need to, take that zester and put a little bit more of cheese on top. And then I'm going to put both of these pans in the air fryer and cook them for 8 to 10 minutes. My meatballs should be done by that time. And then I will come back on and show you everything that is all cooked. So y'all stay tuned. I'm cooking my chicken meatballs tonight, and I love mixing the mix in the batter bowl. And then instead of having to roll these by hand, I never have to touch them. I'm just taking our medium stainless scoop, and it gives me the perfect size meatballs for this donut hole pan. I love cooking my meatballs, sausage balls, little appetizers, things like that in the donut hole pan. But y'all see that? You don't have to roll those babies out. Just grab your medium scoop and let that do the work for you. Okay, everything is done, and it smells amazing. So I have the meatballs sitting on the cooling rack here. Oh, y'all, I wish every one of you could taste these. So I hope you'll make this recipe, because they are so, so good. I'm gonna move those over, and I've got my favorite, the Parmesan carrots. I'll try to get one out so you can see that cheese, how it crisps up on those. They're gonna be so, so good. And then my husband's favorite, look at that, y'all. Delicious bacon, cheesy potatoes. I just call them easy cheese potatoes. So he is going to love those. Let me move. Oh, it's hot. I'll move it a little bit closer so I can take some out so you can see them on this meatballs. We'll pick up the rack. I don't know, the pan might be cool. It's cool enough now that I can touch it. I love using the donut hole pan. Y'all look at that crispy, crispy bottom. So that is my favorite part. I love them crispy, so I let them bake just a little bit longer to get all that good crispiness. And I didn't season this pan with any oil or cooking spray of any kind, and I can literally just pop them right out with my fingers. So very, very non-stick. Okay, now let's see if I can get some of these potatoes out, which is going to be his favorite. And he'll probably want to eat some of my carrots too. There we go. Doesn't that look delicious? And again, the recipe I'm going to share with you for my meatballs is going to have a cream sauce, but we're eating a little bit healthier, so I left that cream sauce off for tonight. But it's delicious with or without the cream sauce. So I'll give you one more look at my carrots. They're just too hot to pick up. The pan gets real hot in that air fryer. So I did them both in the air fryer at the same time, set it for 10 minutes on the bake setting, which is 350 degrees for Pampered Chef's air fryer. And it beeps when it's through halfway the cooking time. So after it had cooked for 5 minutes, it beeped, and then I switched the tray. The carrots were on the top, I moved them to the bottom. The potatoes were on the bottom, and I moved those to the top, and just let them both have the same amount of time on the top rack in the air fryer as they did in the bottom rack. So that is it. And again, I will share all of these recipes with you. I could eat every one of these meatballs by myself. They are so good. All right, we're gonna eat. And so you look for the recipes in the comments. Thanks, y'all. Have a great night. Bye-bye.